Sorry guys. For a kid with a little better place value understanding, they would probably recognize right away that 6 times 3 is 18, and that's very close to the 19 part of 190. So probably pretty quickly, a kid who has really good place value understanding or who has been using this algorithm for a while would say, oh, I know I can pull 36s out of this. And so 30 times 6, just like 3 times 6 is 18, 30 times 6 is 180. And they take that whole big chunk out, and then when they subtract, they get 12, and 6 goes into 12 twice, and so 30 plus 2 is 32. The answer is 32. If you notice, the first time we did this algorithm, it was a little longer, and it could have even been longer had we taken out a chunk of 10, another chunk of 10, another chunk of 10, and then a chunk of 2. But as kids get more and more efficient at the strategy, their work will actually look very similar to the traditional algorithm. One major difference is that we're taking out the chunk of 180 from 192 as opposed to taking 18 from 19. We're talking about the whole number here, so kids really get a concept of what division is and what they're actually doing when they get the answer 32. And so these kids are a little more, they know what's reasonable, if 32 is a reasonable amount, versus a kid who does the traditional algorithm. Sometimes if they line up their numbers wrong, they actually don't have a good grasp on if 32 is even a reasonable answer or not. So as your numbers get a little bit bigger, you could do a problem like this. 12 goes into 6,438. And again, for a kid who might have decent place value, a little bit of place value understanding, they might say, let's see, 12, let's see, that would be 12, double that would be 24. I know I know 36 would be 3 12s, right? And 3 12s would be 36, but I need to get to like 3,000. So let's see, 30 12s would be 360, and so if 300 12s would be 3,600. Okay. So a kid with a little bit of place value understanding might start with a chunk like this. They could even start with 100. Okay, that would be a pretty low level understanding to just take 100 12s, which would give you 1,200 here. But a kid that's about middle of the road would do 300. And so again, you can subtract here. And you would get 2,836. Charlotte, shh. Sorry. So with this chunk, I might say, oh, I can't take another 300 out, but I know that 2 times 12 is 24, so I could take a chunk of 200 out, and that would get me 2,400. If I subtract here, I would be left with 438. I could probably take a chunk. I could take a chunk of 30 out here and get a chunk of 360, and that would leave me with, let's see, 78. I could take another chunk of 5 here, which would take away 60, which leaves me with 18. And I could take one more 12 out of this. I'm running out of room, but I could take one more 12 out, and I'd be left with just 6 in here. Now I can't take another chunk out, so this is my whole number answer. 3 plus 200 would be 500, 536. And depending on what age you are, you might say remainder 6, or you might say 6 out of 12 as a fractional form, and then simplify that to 536 and a half. Again, as a kid gets more and more efficient, they might start by taking a chunk of 500 out, and this would be a lot shorter.